Hello FPL managers, welcome back. This is the FPL Optimized podcast. This is episode number 115 and today I'm flying solo as Sertalp isn't feeling too well. But after the long podcast he recorded last week, I think it's only fair to give him a break. We are recording though, or let's say I am recording though, and this is the podcast in which we combine analytics with the good old eye test. Data or grass, or data and grass? That's the question. I will be covering the regular content today and probably it will be a bit shorter than usual, which I think nobody will really mind as there isn't much time left between this game week 21 and next game week 22. I'm recording this on Thursday with still 2 matches to be played and then the next deadline is coming up already on Saturday. So how is everyone doing this game week? For me, it's going quite well. You can see I'm smiling. Mainly thanks to the Isaac Captaincy, but also thanks to some good contributions from Watkins, Gordon, Palmer, Rogers and Hall, the magical Newcastle trio. But next to that, unfortunately, also a few one-pointers from Gabriel, Colwill, Martinelli and Pickford. And especially the Gabriel one hurts after his header from the corner kick, which then turned into an own goal. And for a few minutes he was awarded with an assist, but at least for now it looks like he will only end up with 1 point. So that's a bit disappointing for all the owners. So for me also a bit of a mixed bag, but overall it looks like I will have a green arrow. So that's nice, and it's also quite likely that I will beat Sertalp, so that's even nicer. But I shouldn't celebrate too early as Sertalp still has Bruno and João Pedro left later today. So yeah, some things can still change. In terms of burning issues for my team, it's mostly to find a replacement still for Gabriel Jesus, who's likely to be out for quite a long time. I didn't move him out yet as my other players could cover for it this game week. And I just wanted to see maybe if there were any new injuries coming up this game week. And I also have Watkins, who did score a goal yesterday, so that was nice. But with Duran back from his suspension, I think the minutes for Watkins are a bit more doubtful now. So yeah, I'll have to see what I will do with that. Alright, let's move to the regular content and let's start with looking at the Fixture Ticker. And here, basically, as usual, I would say we can see the top teams also here at the top of the chart. Number 1 is Liverpool. And I would say definitely their double game week in 24 helps. But next to that, they have some interesting fixtures. They're going to Brentford away now, which usually is quite a high scoring game, I would say, away to Brentford. Then Ipswich at home, looks good. The double then with Bournemouth and Everton, both away. Then Wolves at home. And then it gets a bit trickier with City away and also Newcastle then coming to Liverpool. So yeah, quite some good fixtures I would say for Liverpool, especially now for the next 4 game weeks. Then number 2, Arsenal. Also for them, quite good fixtures. That's also, of course, why they are high up on this chart. So they will play against Villa now at home. Then Wolves away. Then City at home, big game. Leicester away and West Ham at home. So yeah, again, if you have Arsenal players, I would say it's easy to just keep them. Even though, you know, they have been looking not so reliable, I would say, lately. You know, struggling a bit, especially with the injury of Saka. And maybe not scoring as many goals as they usually do. And it's a bit more difficult, I would say, also to bet on certain players. I think some people went for Odegaard. They might not be so happy with the points they received from him so far. I went for Martinelli. I'm also not too happy with that. He was on the bench yesterday. I also went for Jesus, who got injured now. So yeah, not so easy, I would say, besides the defense. But also the defense is conceding goals. So I think the people who went for double or even triple Arsenal defense currently also are not too happy. So not so easy to choose the players there, I would say. Then we go to Chelsea on number 3. A few good fixtures coming up now, especially Wolves at home. Great fixture. I guess everyone has Palmer already. Many people also still have Nico Jackson. So yeah, it's looking pretty good for the next game week. Then City away, West Ham at home, Brighton away, Villa away. And then, of course, the fixture everybody is now everybody is looking for every week. I guess who's playing against Southampton, and Chelsea will play against Southampton in game week 27. So yeah, something already to mark in your calendars. Then number 4, City. And I would say actually it's getting really tough for them. Now Ipswich away is of course still decent. But then Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, Newcastle at home, Liverpool at home, Tottenham away. So yeah, City is already struggling, and with these fixtures coming up, it's not looking too good. Even though I think the people who went for Foden are quite happy with the points that he delivered in recent game weeks. So I think anyone who has Foden, probably good to keep him. But for the rest, yeah, I would say it's not really time to invest in City at the moment. Similar, I think, goes for Spurs. Just really difficult to know what we can expect from Spurs. At the moment, it's not looking too good. But the fixtures look decent. They go to Everton away now, which I think will be a bit tough. But then Leicester at home is a good game. Brentford away, and then United at home. And then looking at the rest of the chart, it's Newcastle, who've been, of course, really the informed team, with still a few good fixtures coming up, especially now in 2 game weeks, Southampton away. Then next, Man United, who seem to also be picking up a little bit of form. Maybe too early to say, so let's see how they will do tonight. But definitely a team to keep an eye on, with some interesting fixtures in the near horizon. And then Fulham, Villa, and Nottingham. So yeah, that's the fixture ticker. And next, let's look at some of the most attractive players based on the data. And we'll look at it per position, starting with the goalkeepers. The number 1 goalkeeper here is Alisson Becker from Liverpool. And again, you know, the double game week is coming up, so that's of course makes the Liverpool players interesting. Number 2 is Pickford. I have Pickford since a few weeks. But since then, he didn't do too much. So I hope this chart is right and that the points will be coming. It's also interesting, of course, to see what the effect will be of the new manager. I think with Sean Dyche, we knew it was maybe a bit more defensive. But the clean sheets, I would say, were, let's say, relatively likely, at least for the home games. But now they might start to play a bit more attacking football. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, Pickford, reliable choice, best goalkeeper in FPL also last season. So I'll just keep him for now and see how it will go. Then Raya, I think he's been a bit disappointing for the owners, relatively expensive, and he's not really keeping the clean sheet that much anymore. And then we have Sanchez from Chelsea, Leno from Fulham, and Onana from United. And then Sels from Nottingham, who has been doing really well for all his owners. So that's a look at the goalkeepers. Let's move on to the defenders. And here we can see a clear picture, where, based on the data at least, that the models are going for Liverpool and Arsenal. Of course, the 2 most reliable defenses this season, I would say. Even though, again, as I said earlier, it's quite difficult to put your money on it, or to bet money on it, because many teams have been conceding goals lately. But again, especially also with the double game week coming up for Liverpool, that of course makes the Liverpool players attractive. Number 1 here is Trent. I'm still not sure, to be honest. You know, it's a lot of money. It's the most expensive defender. And yeah, he had that 1 game week with I think 15 points, so everybody was super happy. But then after that, I think it was 0 points or 1 point, and then again 1 point. So you pay a lot of money for a defender we know is very capable of delivering assists. But yeah, they've also been conceding goals, and personally, I don't mind that I don't have him. Having said that, though, you watch every game of Liverpool being quite worried that Trent will do something. So yeah, that's a decision I think everyone will need to make. Do you want to put the budget there or not? For me, at the moment, I will stay away, also because I don't have the budget to suddenly move it to Trent. And again, I don't really mind. Then for the rest of the Liverpool defenders, we can see here Virgil, Robertson, and Konate. So Konate is good. He's back in the team, and he's the cheapest option at 5.1 million. So again, for the double game week, interesting to look at him, I would say. And then, the other top defenders are from Arsenal. Gabriel, as we know, very dangerous from the headers with the corner kicks. Number 2 there, Saliba. And then number 3, Timber. Timber doing really well this season for Arsenal. And then after that, we see Munoz. So that's interesting. I think, we talked about him before as well. He's a very attacking wingback from Palace, just 4.8 million. So definitely interesting to look at. And then Pedro Porro, I had him for the start of the season. Personally, again, I don't think it's worth it. Spurs conceding too many goals and just not really being reliable. So, I think it's too much budget for Pedro Porro at the moment. And a player who's missing and, I keep looking at every week is Robinson from Fulham. 2 assists this game week. He had already so many assists, and I think if I would be getting a defender outside of Liverpool and Arsenal, for me it would be Robinson, as I don't own him. All right, then let's look at the midfielders. So for the midfielders, number 1, of course, the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah, clear number 1. Again, also, of course, with the double game week. But almost everyone has him already. So not saying anything new here. Same probably for Palmer, the 2 most owned midfielders, Salah and Palmer. But good to see that they are still projected to get many points. So I think we should just keep them. And then after that, there's so many options. And you can also see from the points that they're all quite close in terms of predicted points. Number 3 is Mbumo. Then Bruno Fernandes, Son, Luis Diaz, Ødegaard, Eze, and Gordon as the best options. Mbumo, I currently don't have him, but he's such a great player. And I think the Brentford fixtures are looking a bit better in the near future. So definitely Mbumo is on my mind to bring back. Bruno definitely also. Again, let's see how United will do tonight and in the next games. But I think everyone is expecting them at some moment to pick up some form again. So Bruno, of course, is the key player there. Son, for me, not really. Spurs, as I said, just not reliable enough. And I'm not going for Son. And if I would be going for a midfielder, I probably would go for a cheaper one like Kulusevski. Similar thing I would say for Luis Diaz. Just I don't think it's reliable enough in terms of minutes, especially now with Jota back, and also maybe just not doing enough. I would say for me at least. Ødegaard, I said it earlier. I don't think he's been delivering too many points lately, so I wouldn't go there. But then Eze is interesting, picking up some form lately again with returning FPL points. So I think Eze is definitely a good one to look at. And definitely also Gordon. Yesterday again scored a goal. Newcastle really doing well. So I would definitely say keep Gordon in mind if you don't have him yet. All right. Good to look at all that data for the midfielders. And now let's look at the attackers, which for me especially is really relevant. As I said earlier, I still have Jesus, who looks to be injured for quite a while, so I will need to sell him. So let's look at the options there. Number 1 is Haaland. Still number 1 there with predicted points. But as we all know, he's also the most expensive player in the game, now at 14.8 million. And lately, he just hasn't been worth it, I would say, not scoring enough goals. Even though he's number 1 in the chart, again, it's the question whether you want to really spend all that budget on him. I will still stay away until, of course, he proves me otherwise. that I should go back, which I think, we always need to stay flexible in this game. But for now, I haven't seen that proof. Isaac, so happy, of course, with Isaac in my team. I think most people have him now. I have him since a while. Captained him also this game week, which looks like now it was the right decision. And definitely will be keeping him. And then after that, again, a bit similar to what I said for the midfielders. So many options and also quite close in terms of expected points. So we have Solanke, Nico Jackson, Gakpo, Wood, Havertz, Wissa and Cunha. So Solanke, again, for me, Spurs, I will stay away, just not really reliable enough. Nico Jackson, interesting because Chelsea are so attacking and also they've been creating good opportunities. The XG really looks good, but he's not efficient enough, right? He's just not converting and he's not bringing back the points. So yeah, even though again anyone who has him, I would say keep him because he can certainly score goals in any game. But for me, I'm not really going there. Also because of the price point of 8.1 million. Then Gakpo, 7.4 million. That one for me looks interesting, especially because of the double game week for Liverpool. I don't mind to have another Liverpool player next to Salah. I think Gakpo is quite secure in terms of minutes. I think Arne Slot really likes him. Even though, again, you never know in Liverpool with all the options, also with Jota back in form. Of course, there will be rotation or there will be early substitutions. But yeah, I think for me, Gakpo is a good option to go to now as my Jesus replacement. Wood, well, this is really interesting, right? I think Wood, I said it earlier, for me, I don't know why, I just never went for Wood, and he keeps scoring goals, even now against Liverpool, and I'm sure he will keep scoring goals. So still an attractive price, 6.9 million. I might go there, let's see. It could be maybe my Watkins replacement. Definitely a good option. Then Havertz, I don't know. I had him at the start of the season. He's a good player, of course, but maybe not bringing enough points for the price point and considering the other options that we have. So I think I'll probably stay away. Wissa is also really interesting. That could be my other option instead of Wood, because I think, again, Brentford will have a few good fixtures coming up, and it's just an attacking team together with Mbumo. So that could definitely be a good option. And Cunha, well, Cunha is great as we know, but the fixtures for Wolves are really quite bad. So I will wait a little bit. I was just looking at it earlier. As of game week 27, the fixtures for Wolves get better. So I think then we should be looking at Cunha again. But for now, I will just stay away. And then some other cheap forward options which are not on the chart, but who are just below Cunha, are Raul and João Pedro. Now with Raul, we know there is some competition for the spot with Muniz, but I think Raul is the preferred number one, or let's say number 9 in the team. But also there sometimes early substitutions, so that's something you need to be aware of. And then João Pedro, some injury doubts this week. Let's see if he will start tonight. But of course, a key player for Brighton. And also quite cheap, so always good to have in the team as your third option. So yeah, plenty to choose from. And as I said earlier, I think for my Jesus replacement, which I will do this game week, I think I will go for Gakpo, because again, Liverpool, great team, good fixtures. He is quite reliable in terms of starting position. So yeah, I think I will go for him. And then Watkins I'll probably keep, I think, because Villa do have a few good fixtures coming up now from game week 23 and until 25. There is the risk that he might not start with Duran back from suspension, but yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll probably still keep him, and otherwise, as I said, I'll probably downgrade to either Wood or Wissa, and then move the budget to the midfield. Maybe it would allow me to go for Bruno. So let's see, that's some options I can look at for the next coming game weeks. All right, let's move to the final chart, which is the captaincy chart. And not so easy, I would say, this game week, because Chelsea have a home game against Wolves and Liverpool have an away game to Brentford. So, yeah, I would say bet on the home team with Chelsea and Palmer, of course, against Wolves. We saw Newcastle beating Wolves yesterday 3-0. So, yeah, it is easy to, or it's not easy, but it is possible to score a few goals against Wolves, as we know. And usually Palmer is involved. So, yeah, it does sound like the safe bet. I don't know. For some reason, I feel there's a little bit risk. Maybe Chelsea not performing as well in recent game weeks compared to earlier this season. So that's maybe a bit the risk that I feel. But again, home game against Wolves, of course, a good option, very good option to go for Palmer. But there's also, of course, always Salah. Liverpool going away to Brentford. So Brentford have a good home reputation, but they do concede also, right? I mean, we have seen some high-scoring goals. Usually or often Brentford won the game, but the opposition scored a few goals as well. So, and with Liverpool league leaders now going there, I think it's a good game to bet on Liverpool to score some goals. And of course, if Liverpool scores goals, usually Salah is involved. So that's why, for me, also Salah is a really good option this game week. Currently, I do have the armband on Salah, but let's see if I'll keep it there. The other options are Haaland for the people who still have him. So City is going to Ipswich away. I would say not that easy, because at the moment nothing is too easy for City, and Ipswich at home, they will be motivated, they will be organized. So let's see. But of course, if you have Haaland, you can always put the armband on him. Number 4 in the ensemble model is Isaac, home game against Bournemouth. So it's good that it's another home game, but Bournemouth, as we know, is a really decent team. So I would say good to have Isaac in the team. Probably he will score a goal, but maybe for captaincy there are better options this week. And then 5th we have Wood. Really good game for Nottingham at home against Southampton. We see that Fantasy Football Fix actually has Wood as the number 3 option behind Palmer and Salah. And of course, it is an interesting option there, the really attractive home game. And then 6th, Bruno Fernandes with the United home game against Brighton. And 7th, Nico Jackson as, let's say, the second Chelsea option you could go for in that home game against Wolves. So yeah, plenty to choose from. I think for most of us, it will be a decision between Palmer and Salah. Let's see. Probably, might be a bit of a 50-50 split, which is always nice. And let's hope we'll be making the right decisions. Good luck with that, everyone. All right, that was it for today. I went through all the data. I hope you enjoyed it, even though it was just me today and a bit shorter than usual. But thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you like the episode, please leave a like here on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, of course, and you can also subscribe to the channel. Next week, we will be back with Sertalp. So I will be back with Sertalp. Finally, again, in the normal setup, as it has been a while. I think the last time we recorded together was before Christmas. So it's definitely time that we do that again. You can subscribe to our podcast so you'll get notified when the next episode is out. And you can also follow us on X. For me, it's at BelfiBB. And for Sertalp, it's at SertalpBilal. And as you know, probably by now, we also have a separate account on X for the podcast, which is at FPL Optimized. Again, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Stay curious and stay analytical. Goodbye.